Have you been struggling with the dark L sound of American English? If so, stick around because I'm going to give you some helpful advice. Hi, I'm Lori with Pronunciation Pro and CommuniClinic. In each of my videos, I provide just a snippet of information about American English pronunciation. A snippet is a small amount of something, so the idea is to help you with one small aspect of pronunciation that might be challenging for you, so you can improve your spoken English one skill at a time. A couple of years ago, I did a video on the dark L, and many people found it helpful, but the feedback I got was that they wished I would have done more demonstration of the sound and given some practice sentences. I also realized that I left some important information out of that video. So this is a redo of the dark L video that I did 2 years ago. I hope you find it useful. Okay, so first we need to recap what I'm talking about when I say the dark L. In English, we have two L sounds, the light L and the dark L. The light L occurs at the beginning of words, such as lift, look, and lemon. The tongue is up high in the mouth and touching lightly against the upper front teeth. I'm going to show you that position again. Lift, look, lemon. The dark L occurs after vowel sounds, so it often happens at the end of a word, as in hall, but it can also happen in the middle of a word, such as also. The dark L is made with the tip of the tongue low in the mouth. I mentioned in my previous video that many instructors teach the tongue position for this sound as a cupped shape, with the tongue resting on the floor of the mouth. This is definitely valid, but in my many years of working with non-native speakers, I've found that attempting the cup shape can cause problems because many of my students will curl the tip of their tongue upward in an effort to do that cup shape better. And this gives them more of an sound than an sound. So for example, partial can sound like partial if the tongue tip curls upward. So I teach the dark L sound by simply having my students focus on anchoring the tip of the tongue to the back of the lower front teeth. This gives you the dark L sound, ol. It's okay if the rest of your tongue doesn't fully have a cup shape. You'll still get the dark L sound as long as the tip of the tongue is anchored on those lower front teeth. So the light L is and the dark L is ol. Now I'm going to demonstrate the difference in a real word. Let's go back to that word hall. If I use a light L, it will sound like hull. And if I use a dark L, it will sound like hall. Now, something I left out of my last video is the fact that many English language learners get into a bad habit of using their lips instead of their tongue to make the dark L sound. So a word like build might sound like build, and a word like children might sound like children. It's very important that you don't let your lips get involved in the dark L sound because your listener is going to hear a W sound if you do this, and that's going to confuse them. So use only your tongue for the dark L. It can be helpful to stand in front of a mirror and put a slight smile on your face, then practice words with the dark L. You should be able to say words like build and children without breaking that smile on the dark L sound. I mentioned that we use the dark L when L occurs after a vowel. However, I want to clarify that I'm referring to the pronunciation, not the spelling. For example, words like table and people both use a dark L, Because that LE word ending is pronounced with a vowel sound before the L. Ul. Table, people. And one last thing to mention is that if a higher vowel sound comes before that dark L, you will have to drop the middle of your tongue in order to transition from that higher vowel into the dark L. For example, if I slow down this word, feel, it would sound like this. Feel. Fill would sound like this. Fill. Fell would sound like this. Fell. And fail would sound like this. Fail. On the words fall and full, your tongue is already low in the mouth for the vowel, so there's no transition needed to get into the dark L. Okay, let's practice some dark L words in sentences now. I'm going to give you time after each sentence so you can repeat it after me. I'm also going to say those dark L words a little slower than I normally would so you can really hear that dark L sound. Really focus on anchoring your tongue tip on the back of your bottom front teeth for that dark L, and don't use your lips. Ready? Let's go. He built a small but functional house. The cup of milk fell off the table. That color is really beautiful. My goal is to travel as much as possible. She will always be taller than me. I hope this redo video on the dark L was helpful to you. It does take some time to get used to this tongue movement, but after you've very deliberately practiced that movement over and over in a variety of different phrases and sentences for a period of time, it will begin to come more naturally to you. And if you feel that you need more personalized help with your accent, do reach out to me. I'd love to work with you. My website is listed in the description below, and there's a contact form on the site so you can get a hold of me. In the meantime, happy practicing, and I'll see you in my next video.